Alrighty, on to day 2. Warm-up should be fairly familiar at this point. We're going to spend a little time working on headstand practice, and you've got those 3 levels: your tripod, your knees tucked, and your headstand. When to move up, once you can hold your position for about 20-30 seconds in a row. Once you can do that, move on to the next one. The key with all this stuff is slow and steady wins the race. I know sometimes people at the gym, they're just like, oh, now I'm in a headstand, ha ha ha. If you really struggle with headstands, that's going to be hard to do because you don't have your balance yet. You don't have that. You don't know how to make that little adjustment to hold yourself up. Well, the person that can just shoot right up has practiced it enough that they're at that point. So my point is, take your time getting up. If you're pretty good at headstands, do a quick 30-second headstand, come on down, and then play around with some handstands, because why the hell not? Same key. No, who am I kidding? Handstand is completely different. The handstand, you have to just go for it. There's no getting up slow or anything like that. You need to have your arms straight, plant your hands, push yourself up, and hopefully you pushed up with the appropriate amount of force to end up straight up and down. Some things that are going to prevent you guys from getting into a handstand is, one, this. You think you're going to hold yourself overhead with this soft lockout? I don't think so. The next is this, right? I'm not in a straight line here. Straight, right? There's an angle. We've got to be overhead. Boom. I've got a barbell overhead. I've got my body overhead. Same position. Feet together makes a big difference. Core tight makes a big difference. Your hands may dance a little bit. That's how you're going to adjust your balance. So if you're doing this, that's normal. That's normal. And if you're feeling really squirrely, try some handstand walks. Who knows what happens. Once you're through that, we've got some squats and some pull-aparts. And you're going to want to do these squats because your legs are sore. Getting a little blood flow to them is going to make them feel better. If you don't have a band for pull-aparts, we can have you do like a body row or something. Maybe I should hold this up to my face. Okay, next up we've got handstand push-up negatives. So find your pillow or whatever, find your wall, and let's talk about this. We did pull-up negatives last week. So today we've got handstand push-up negatives. You'll notice I do not have assistance here. Actually, I want to turn this sideways. I'm also going to go next to my picture. You know what? I'm going to take it down. I'm not brave enough. A negative, so you can see my face. A negative, we lower ourselves, and then we go back to the top. We lower ourselves, come back to the top. We're aiming for a count of 5. So this is how most of you are going to do this. You have something for your head, but it is not significantly elevated off the floor. So yeah, there's a little bit of elevation here with this folded up blanket, but ultimately it's not going to help me significantly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hop all the way up to the top. I'm going to jump into a handstand and lower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And back up into the handstand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 2. You've got sets of 5. So for those that aren't good at getting on the wall, you are about to get a shit ton of practice. You guys are going to be pro, get up on that wall. But Brendan, I like to start at the bottom and do a handstand push-up. We can't do that on these. It's not going to work. You're going to start using elevation. You're now cutting your negative short, and you're taking away from the movement. Let's talk modifications. First modification is for people that are really good with handstand push-ups. If you're really good at handstand push-ups, what you're going to do is lower over a count of 5, handstand push-up up. Lower over a count of 5, handstand push-up up. Now, if you can't get back up on the wall, what you're going to do through a handstand push-up, well, I got 3 and then I couldn't, just go back to the way I was showing you, right? So you might be doing 5 negatives, and in that negative set, you're doing only 2 or 3 handstand push-ups. That's fine. A handstand push-up is not important. The negative, that is what is important today. Second modification, for those that struggle with full range of motion, handstand push-ups. Like you saw, I was in control the whole time. There's no drop. I didn't get to a point where I could no longer hold on and I collapsed to the floor. We do not want to collapse. Why? Because you're going to land on your neck and it's not going to feel good. The collapse is your muscles no longer supporting you, and so you are now free falling onto your head. Doesn't sound too good to me. Hopefully it doesn't sound too good to you. If that is the case, you're going to give yourself a bigger cushion. There we go. My cushion is just doubled in size. Now your range of motion is shorter, so you're going to have to lower yourself shorter. If you still want to count, lower over count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a good time to set up a clock upside down, because you're upside down, so you can watch it. Or have a buddy, a spouse, a child count for you. Make sure it's a child that doesn't like you, so they count slow. Rather, a kid that does like you, otherwise they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, Brandon, I can't do this. I'm not a handstand push-upper. You know this. Why are you doing this to me? I hate you. Well, we've got our pike press, our rock press that we can do instead, which I've demoed in the past, and we're going to go 5 sets to 10 there. Okay, moving on. One arm handstand push-up. That would be fun, right? No. One arm push press. We've done these quite a bit at the gym. They are challenging, which is why we're doing sets of 10. Your set of 10 is broken. What am I doing here? Your set of 10 is broken, 5 per side. Here's my dumbbell. No. Dumbbells on my shoulder, elbows out, boom. Look at that upper back activation, squeeze. And from here, little dip with the legs, big push straight up. Right? Controlling the way down. A lot of times at the gym I see guys do this. You do good here, and then you would do this. Ready? Ah! We don't want to free fall on the wall. We don't want that weight free falling towards our shoulder. Controlling the weight down. You should be controlling the weight down, not just dropping it. It could be a controlled drop, if that makes sense. It does, because that's what I do. Controlled drop. I'm intent while it's coming down. I'm controlling the drop of the implement. If you've got a kettlebell, which quite a few of you do, it might be a little easier to start with the bottom of the bell on your shoulder rather than the bell tucked right here, right? Both are an option, but both have the same principle, right? It's down here. I'm still tense in my upper back, right? Shoulder's still set. I'm up here, right? I just rest a little higher. 5 per side is a set. That makes 10 reps, right? Big rest. We got 5 sets. Last thing on there. I don't remember. Snatches, rows, burpees. That sounds right. 10, 20, 10. Why don't we just say this? It's 10s all around, right? Because the rows are going to be one arm rows. We're going to do them 10 per side. Yes, snatches. If you have a dumbbell, right? Dumbbell snatches. If you have a barbell, squat snatches, right? We've been over that. If you have a kettlebell, you can do a kettlebell snatch or your American overhead swings. That's fine. Rows, we're using our single implement again, our dumbbell or our kettlebell, and we're doing them off our bench, quote unquote bench, like we would at the gym. Good squeeze at the top. And if you don't know burpees, I don't know what you've been doing at home because we've been doing a lot of burpees.